Hey everybody, Omni Griffin here, and welcome back to Human Resource Machine. We now have a couple different ways to go. We are going to actually take the left path, because this is the challenge path. And let's be honest, I like the challenge path. Alright, this back hallway is for advanced employees only. That is correct. Are you sure you want to be here? These night shift assignments are optional, you know. And they're difficult. So there's actually, there's an achievement for the tell me more. Alright, so they're describing the Fibonacci sequence. So, for each thing in the inbox and the outbox, the full Fibonacci sequence up to but not exceeding that value. For example, if the inbox is 10, the outbox should be 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8. What's the Fibonacci sequence? Ask your boss or a friendly search box. So, the Fibonacci sequence is a very famous mathematical sequence that you are probably already familiar with, even if you don't know it by name. Basically, it is it is defined as n sub x, where n sub x equals n sub x minus 1 plus n sub x minus 2. So there is no 0, and n sub 0 is 1, and n sub 1 is 1, or 0, 1, depending on how you do it, which basically means that the first number's 1, the second number's 1, 1 plus 1 is 2, so the next number is 2, 1 plus 2 is 3, 2 plus 3 is 5, 3 plus 5 is 8, hence why 1 plus 1 is 2. Basically, any number is equal to the sum of the previous two. That's the simplest way to say it. The other ways are a little bit more formal. So, we need to... This is gonna be hard. Alright, so the way this is gonna have to work is we are going to have to bump 9. Oh, that's right. Forgot these are drawn, not typed. Alright, so we're gonna bump 0, so we're gonna get 1. And then we are going to copy that to 0. And then we're going to copy that to 1. So now I've got 1 and 1. So we're then going to take from the inbox. We're going to copy that. We're going to call this the target. So when it exceeds, we don't want to go above. So basically, okay, so we copy that to target, and then oh, interesting. Okay, we don't want to copy to 1. Oh man. Doing this in your head is so hard with these commands. Having to actually manage the memory. So the reason why we don't want to copy it to 1 is because we need to create a loop, basically. We need to create a loop that we can constantly do, and that loop is going to be, because we have to start with the target. This is basically setting up our initial conditions. So basically, we are going to, because we have to output 1. So actually, we're always putting out 1 number. Based on this definition, we're always putting out 1 number, and that is going to be the first one. Otherwise, this outbox removes it, so we need to do that. Okay, we need to then copy from 0, copy to 1, and outbox. So we're always putting out the first two ones. That's always true. So our current state at that point is going to be 1, 1. We then take from the inbox, and we copy it to target. So we've got 1, 1, 21. So then... So this is going to be n sub x minus 2. And this is going to be n sub x minus 1. And this is going to be n sub x. X is, of course, the index of the Fibonacci number. And x is basically going to be the iteration of the loop. It's going to be slightly different than that. Technically, this should be x plus 1, x plus 2, because we're looking at x plus 2. But we're not going to worry about that, because we're not actually writing a legitimate loop. We're not actually using those. I'm just using those to think about which number should be where, if we're trying to find n sub x. So what we need to do is we've got our target. So the problem is trying to figure out where we loop back is going to be the hard part. It's going to be somewhere around here. Like our loop is going to be like this. This is where we're going to have to run our loop. We have our initial condition of 1, 1, 0. Really what we should do, though... I'm not optimizing for anything yet, which is why I'm going to do this. This isn't really what I want to do. But we're actually then going to copy from there. We're going to add there. We're going to copy it to there. So, okay, not exceeding. Okay, so if 1 was the answer, we would put out, or if this was 1, we'd put out both 1s, from what I understand. So, this is the important part. These 3, that is the majority of the loop. So actually, let's do it here. Oops. So, we've got our target stored, we've got our base conditions, and we've got our x. So, we then copy... So in our hands right now, we have this number. If this number is greater than this number, we're done. If it's greater than or equal to. No, if it's just greater than. If it's equal to or less than, we keep going. So we copy from target, we subtract n minus x. If it's 0, we start all the way over because we've reached our target. Otherwise, ooh. We need something. Storage. Otherwise, we copy it to here. And there's a reason for this, and it's because we need to copy from this, copy it to this, copy from this, copy to this, copy from here. I actually don't need to copy to storage. Copy from there. Outbox. Okay, we are going to debug this for sure, but I actually think this works. Alright, so we start. We go ahead and we bump 0. To get our first one, we put that here. I don't think we've lost any efficiency here. So we go and we get the inbox. We copy it to target. So then we've got, we officially have our initial conditions, 1, 1, 21. So we copy from here. We add this. We copy it to there. So then we copy from target. We subtract this. Oh shoot, we don't want that to be jump if 0. We want that to be jump if negative. But that's okay. We copy the 2. Put the 2 there. I do not need... I think I've got an extra step in there. This is extra. And I'm going to undo this because I want this to be jump if negative. Alright. Let's go real fast here. I'm gonna... Alright. We get our input. Okay, this is where we're gonna be. Go ahead and put in our target. So we copy from that one, add that one, put it there. We copy from target. We subtract. It is not negative. So we copy from there, copy to there, copy from there, put it in there. And then output. 1, 1, 2. Alright. So we copy from here, add that, put it there. Compare, it's still positive. We've moved everything. So now we've got 2, 3. So 2, 3, 5. You see how this is working? So the next important part is right now, because now it's going to be negative. 8 plus 21. 8 plus 13 is 21, so we put it there. We subtract, it's negative, so we're done. So we go, we bump 0. Oh, whoopsie. That's unfortunate. I forgot that bump also does that. Alright, alright. So... that's unfortunate that that works like that. We don't want to bump 0. Alright, so... okay, so the conditions that we're being given are a number that is not a Fibonacci number and a number that is a Fibonacci number. So... 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13. Alright. 21. We got negative. So we copy from 0. We copy it to here. We output the 1. Put it there. We output the 1. We take the inbox. We copy it to our target. Alright. We're back on track. So now the big one is going to be when we actually get the Fibonacci number, which is coming up. I'm going to make this go fast. Alright. There might be a better way of doing this. Okay, anyway, alright, so we copy from there, we add that. get 0. So that's still good. And then it goes through one more time, and it is negative. Interesting. Oh, right, because I have to try an inbox again. Crap. Alright, so this has to do with the way this game works. It only counts that you're done with an algorithm when you inbox immediately. So what we actually need to do is we need to bump 0, we inbox, and copy to target. There. Doesn't matter where we do it, but this inbox needs to be first, because when it goes to the inbox and there's nothing there, yeah, this makes sense. But we do have to bump 0 before everything else, so that is a 1. We just have to do it. I know why they gave us a 0, because technically you can argue that the first Fibonacci sequence number is 0, because 0, 1 is 1, but that's the way that they've defined it. Is it has to do with the initial conditions of a series, and that's not something I'm all that good at describing, if you haven't already figured that out. So there is one way we could do it. Maybe? No, I don't think we can. This is the best way. Alright, so this should work. So we should, since it's 19, we should see 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13, and then it'll be done. Go to the next one, then we see 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8. And it's done. Now let's see how we did for optimization. Nope. That's close, though. Look at that. Look at that efficiency. Damn. That's amazing. I'm really proud of myself. I was not expecting it to be that well. And you want to know why we did that well? I'm guessing. I'm going to guess that we did this. We did 23 executions under because of some other fun stuff. So we need to remove 2 commands from here. There's a way to do it, I think. Is there? Is there a good way to do it? To remove actual commands. So, I'm pretty sure that the way to do it... Sorry, we're not using that, so I don't want it. I'm pretty sure that the easiest way to get rid of commands is going to be the way that I'm copying. Copying from there to there. From there to there and outputting. So there's an alternative option here, and that is whenever we... No, we don't want to do it that way. We could subtract numbers from our target, and based on whether or not that's 0. I'm trying to think about if there's a good way to get rid of this bump 0. Like, setting up our initial conditions is where we have possibly the biggest chance to reduce. Like, this just shuffles things around. So we bring in our target. We need to do this first. But we immediately are doing other stuff also. So it's not like we can, like, pulling in this at a different time is better for us. need to get rid of 2 commands. We need to get something immediately from here. Whew. This might be where we can lose 1 command. That's tough, though. No, because we end up using 2 commands. So, if we copy from target and subtract this way, negative means we are done. I could do it the other way. We have n sub x. So instead of copying from target and subtracting n, we could instead subtract target. But the problem is, this means, so if this number is bigger, it means if we're positive, we're done. So we also need to jump if 0. Sub-target. If they're the same, the problem is this is a good way to get out of the loop. Like, we know we are done. The problem becomes we need to do this first so that we can jump back to before the loop. So oh man, optimizing is hard, turns out. I don't want to start from scratch because this took a while to actually think through. So if we subtract the target and it's negative, the thing is we keep going. And then otherwise, we jump. That's the danger. That's the problem. To get this, we need to spend... Jumping is the problem. Jumping is usually how we end up simplifying or lowering the number of counts, is by jumping less. The more you jump, the worse it is for you. Because jump commands are expensive, especially ifs that don't necessarily go off. This jump if negative rarely happens, so we want to check it as little as possible. We do have to check it once a loop. No, see, I'm thinking number of instructions called. Doesn't matter how many times we check it, but we have to check it at least once, which is more than enough. But adding this, we end up doing the exact same thing. And actually, because if it's 0, it means they're equal. Then it jumps here. So this is actually just strictly wrong. We still got to get rid of stuff. Can we get rid of the bump 0? I don't think so. Oh god. Okay, so how do we optimize our jumps? We always need a jump here. We have the fewest number of jumps that I think we can get. I think we do. The question is, we're doing a lot of copying. And a lot of copying from. That's why I initially had a storage here, because I figured we could... If we copied... After we do our subtraction. After we do this. Or after we do our addition. And we copy it to NX. We need to get NX minus 1 to here. And we have no way of incrementing these, like to naturally go up. We don't have a way of doing that. So how do we do that? How do we go about doing that? We copy from here, we add this. We can't just blindly output. We don't want to. Or do we? There's no way we actually shorten this. Darn. Because we need to check before we output. We absolutely must, because the condition of it being this being a Fibonacci number means that we output it and we go and run the loop again. It means that we can't blindly output. So it's got to be our setup. But there's nothing there. There's like bumping 0 and getting a 1. Okay, I think I know what we gotta do. We need to change this. We need to change this initial condition stuff. And we have to get it into here. This is dumb, but I think it'll work. So... we copy from 0. We copy to nx plus 2. We copy to nx plus 1. And we bump nx plus, or nx minus 1. That means we've got 0, 1, target. And I think this works. Because we don't need 1, 1 as our initial condition. We just need 0, 1, and it'll go all by itself. And I'll show you. Put 0 there. And we bump it. And then we inbox. And guess what? We've got the valid Fibonacci sequence starting. It might... yeah, this is going to end up as 2. So, we didn't quite get it right. So, we actually bump and then outbox. Because that gives us our first 1. So, watch. 0, 1. We've got our initial conditions. And then we loop across. 1, 1. 2. I think we got it. By simplifying the way in which we do our initial conditions, we actually succeed. Now the reason why... oops. I did it again. This needs to be like this. Sorry. The reason why this works better is because it takes that first loop, so technically it doesn't start as 1, 1 Fibonacci. It starts as 0, 1. Your how to define this? The first n sub 1 in Fibonacci is 1. N sub 2 is 1. But to define a series, you have to be able to solve for any n. So for any x. When x equals 3, we can go, hey, n of 2 and n of 1, that's 1 and 1. So we know that's 2. Third number is 2. The problem is, we don't x is not solvable for a negative number. Fibonacci is defined as x's that are positive. And actually, I'm not 100% sure on that, whether that's fact, but this is how I've interpreted it in my head. I should put that forwarding on it. So when we start looking at n equals 1, or sorry, x equals 1. When x equals 1, we've got this. So we start looking into negative numbers, and we go, well, first, well, n sub 0 and n sub negative 1. Those don't exist. So we say, hey, the initial conditions for Fibonacci's sequence are n sub 1 equals 1, and n sub 0 equals 0. That's basically how we're treating it. Before, we were doing our initial conditions are n sub 1 equals 1 and n sub 2 equals 1. It's a very subtle difference. If you don't quite get what I'm getting at, don't worry about it. It's also just the way that I've looked at it in my own head, which I don't think about things perfectly, and I'm not going to say that I do. But the way that you start remembering something, as long as it is consistent, it works. Now, did I do it? Yes! How's our speed challenge? I'm curious. We still beat it on speed. What's 156 then? What possibly adds 2 extra commands without adding an extra... Whatever, we got them both. So I'll take it. Ah, the mod module. I already know where this is going. Oh, wait. Did we not do the multiplication workshop? Oh, we didn't optimize it at all. Oops. I saw Fibonacci and just wanted to go for it. We did not optimize this at all. Alright, well, I guess we'll do that next episode if I remember. I may or may not. We'll see. So if that's what you came here for, I apologize if you were looking forward to it from last week. But I promise I will try my hardest to remember for next week that we're going to be optimizing the multiplication workshop. I might just do it right now and record that episode early, since I'm already in a programming mindset. I don't know, though, yet. So yeah, I will see you all next time. But until then, keep your gears turning.